Hello everybody! So, I am having a lot of trouble trying to get enemies working. Um, they just don't seem to want to work, and all the YouTube videos I see online are how to create an enemy AI to chase you and patrol the area. Like, great, I'm sure I could use that at some point, but not right now. No, not right now. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a, like in Spyro where they have that, in Spyro 1 where they have those chargers and they charge at you and then they fall off a cliff. That's kind of what I'm trying to make. And there's literally no tutorial on it, but there's 500 tutorials on how to create an AI that chases you. Fun. Alright, so since I'm having trouble with that, I decided to show off the prototype of this level and what I plan on doing. Now, when I was making the forest level, I was focusing more on story than I was anything else. That's why it doesn't really have too much hard platforming to do. And I figured, well, that's not fun. This is a fun character, and I'm really proud of what I've accomplished. Yes, I'm not a coder, like, I'm sort of a coder, but not really. But why is that not working? I had it work. There it is. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. Not game breaking though. Anyways, the forest level is very story-like, just like in Spyro. The platforming isn't that strong, it's just very story-like. So I decided, what if I made a bunch of smaller levels that are more platform specific than story specific? So that's what this is. You're inside the dream of a spider, and all the little spiders have construction worker hats on because they're constructing their web. Now this room is very cool, so I just have this web and I'm going to have it, bounce as you touch it, and there are going to be all these spiders coming out of that area, that box, that box, that box, that box, that box. So there's going to be 3 spiders going across and 2 spiders going the other way. And you're going to be jumping on a giant web that is hung over the face of a giant spider. And I think that would just be fun. And you're just supposed to go from that button, that was across the room over there, to this button over here. That will unlock the door to this, and then you can leave. I'll add a couple more stuff that you can run on and platform between, but right now that's just basically the idea. Is I wanted a room where you just have fun jumping. Alright, so now that you get here, there is 3 routes you can go. This route is just a normal route into another area. This route is where you get a collectible that when you get this collectible, it'll unlock another set of levels, but those set of levels won't have really a theme. They're just extremely platformy and hard, and I just wanted to make just a real challenge of a level. And that's where that route goes, and then this route will continue forward into the end of the level. So let's go, in order. Also, the HUD is working, and if there's any specific collectibles in the level, that will also show up in the HUD in the bottom left. There is none in this level, but in the forest level, there's a Wumpa, so you'll eventually see that at some point. The Wumpa will show up in the bottom left. This level is basically a little bit of a platforming, but this is the egg room, and you see all the bunch of eggs and all the scaffolding and whatever the construction worker metal beams are called. And yeah, so you just come up here, you get something. Maybe this will be a candied memory. And if you look in the top right, there's 3 Z's. Those represent your health bars. And actually, I made a circle. As you can see, another Z got added when I gave myself another health bar, and the head changed. So the head is actually going to be the head of whatever dream you're in. So in this case, it would be a spider's head, and it's sleeping. The more health you have, the more asleep that spider head would be. The less health you have, the less asleep. The more it wakes up. And the candied memories will give you. You have to collect 5 candy memories to get 1 health bar. So. And the way that shows up, it shows up as transparent Z's. So it'll be a Z, but only the top, then a Z in the middle, and then a Z in the bottom. and then, you know, it'll be a fully transparent Z, and then the next one you get will be your next health bar. And then, as you can see, there's also checkpoints, and I think these checkpoints came out really cool. And the previous checkpoint will be unlit when you hit the next checkpoint. So it will, this checkpoint will go dormant if I go back into the other room and show you that checkpoint. That checkpoint will be dormant and this one's lit. So this room is it's not super hard, but it's a tricky room, and it's going to be teaching you more about platforming. These ones with the spider webs on them, those are going to be disappearing on you. But see how that this one's definitely going to be a lot more trickier to navigate than the other level. And I just want to show you some real quick. So the idea is that I'm training you a bit, because at the end of this part of the level, if you roll and you jump, you actually can't get up there. You have to double jump to get the height in order to get on top of this. And then there's these spiders. These spiders hanging aren't exactly obstacles. They're more just decoration. I mean, if you run into them, they will hurt you, but you can easily just like move out of the way and then go wee, and then not get hit by them. So anyways, this level is going to be training you, because at the end of this level you'll get right now it's a key. I'm not sure what that collectible is going to be yet, and that will unlock extremely hard platforming levels that hopefully people really enjoy. And that's why this part of the level is going to be the hardest part. Anyways, you come up, you hit this button, and then I only put this once in here, but you actually have to roll, jump, and then jump back. And that's only possible because I gave the double jump a bit of a push forward, and I really want to utilize that. And I also the whole idea of this was, when I started roll jumping, I was like, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I like rolling as my character. Anyways, that button over there will unlock this, a door here, and then you can fall, then another spider, you whack it. This one's pretty good. You have to be very precise. This whole web, in the center of the web will be open and the rest of the web won't. I'll make it so it's not super hard to get through, but basically you just need to do that, not hit any part of the web and just roll through. Now, these are pretty tricky because so far I haven't been able to properly give myself a double jump after jumping on something. So in the back of the giant headed spider room where you're jumping on a giant web, that actually has collision. So every time you land in the code, you technically count as landing, so you restart your jumps, and that's why you can double jump easily over there. But on here, if you double jump into this, and then you can't, well, one, you can't jump, and anything I tried won't, it was a very weak jump. So I never understood how to do it. So in order to get through this part, you actually have to hold your double jump until the very end. And then you quickly come over here because that's a disappearing platform. Then over here you got more spiders that jump across. This is actually a fly. It's just supposed to show you when the spiders are going to come. And this fly will buzz in, and then you're like, okay, a spider's about to jump. And it also shows you the path of which the spider will go. It's going to be an arc like this. So this spider is, again, he's decoration. You can try to hit him, but the idea is not to hit him, but to roll underneath him, and I'll be a little more precise when I make the final version. Now this wall is going to be a cage, because in construction sites, there's a lot of fences, and this wall was meant to just make sure you don't go from the platform that was over there on the other side to that platform right there immediately. So you actually had to think and then come over here and do some quick thinking. But I didn't want you to be such at a disadvantage of not knowing what was going to come, that I am going to make that a transparent wall, as in a fenced wall, so that when you do jump on that platform and then go on that, and then that, and you try to get up, you'll at least see where you're supposed to go before you commit to jumping on these disappearing platforms. And then you jump down here, pretty easy. I like these roll into the wall, fall, and then at the last second jump in type of platforming. So yeah, when you get down here, you got to go here. You got to go fast. And that's actually, I tricked myself because it's like, oh, can you double jump over here? Nope, now you gotta restart the entire room. But most of these jumps are basically roll jumps. Some aren't, some you will need the height, like this you need the height for. Oh no, it was over that. Darn, see? I expect people to fail at this 2 or 3 times before they finally get to the end. Hopefully it's not too frustrating, because that's not what this is meant to be. This is meant to be a prefab, you know, a pre-level to what's to come. And if you're having too much trouble with this level, then collecting these keys might not be for you. Because what I plan on doing afterwards, you know, what those keys will unlock, definitely harder than that level. Definitely going to be harder than any other level. And actually, in the forest level, I made it easy to get over to that key. There's going to be one in every level. But I made it extremely difficult to leave. So actually, I put it over a checkpoint. So when you collect it, you do land on a checkpoint, forcing you to get stuck. So you have to solve how to get out of there. So here I like, because you can see there's an enemy and you can see there's spiders. So you actually have to roll to the left of the enemy, then roll off and come here. And here it's like, oh, well, do I, you know, roll jump? Do I double jump? You actually roll into the wall, fall, and then jump over. And you'll have enough distance. And basically, again, it's all training. These little guys will just be scurrying across. So you crawl, you wait, you watch them scurry, you crawl, you wait, you watch them scurry. And then you fall into this mini boss room. Now this boss room isn't like a super hard boss room. It definitely looks intimidating, but you're going to collect this entity. This entity is just to collect, you know, it's the end of the game collectible, or end of the level collectible. Doesn't give you any superpower, any more abilities like the ones in the main characters' levels do. But think Jak and Daxter, the first Jak and Daxter, when you face the plant boss, where he just sent out an enemy, and then you killed the enemy, and then he opened up his leaf, you jump on the leaves, and you hit him in the face. That's basically what this boss level is. He sends out some enemies, he makes himself vulnerable, you go up, you smack him, and then these, you know, sends out a different kind of enemy. Again, you know, avoid him, smack him, go up, he makes himself vulnerable at some point, you go up and smack him. Do it 3 times, and you break the construction hat on his head, and he falls. And actually, this is a giant foot. So that's what this is supposed to be. I'll make it a little bit easier to understand. I mean, it's going to be a roof, but a giant foot is going to come in and squash him, and then that's, you know, the end of that. But this is the giant spider from the start of the level, so you'll be able to, if you did miss something, you'll be able to backtrack. If you didn't go through there for some reason or whatever, you'll backtrack and you will be able to come back here and go through the level again. The only place you can't go back is up there. And let me play up there again. So, I had a lot of space way back there. As you can see, some of those tunnels just kept going, and that's what I want them to be. You're supposed to fall. You can't, if you do get over there, you won't be able to, like, there's nowhere to go. But I'm going to have it look like the tunnels just keep going, because this is supposed to be a spider's nest, and it's supposed to not be, like, looking super linear. It's, you know, tunnels all over the place. So I had a lot of space behind where you started. I was like, you know what would be kind of cool is if you utilized the longest jump possible that you can do, which is you roll, you attack, and you just fly over. And when you roll at the edge of a cliff, and you press square to attack, which is this move. The move isn't, you know, doing it when you do it properly, but you roll, you attack, you square, you jump all at one time, and it really sends you flying. And you have your double jump at the very end, all while still holding the sprint button, because if you let go of the sprint button, then you don't go as far. You actually lose momentum when you press that double jump button. See? But, you know, while you're in the beginning of this part, you don't actually lose momentum. Just when you hit double jump, I have it so that it stops the movement, stops all momentum. That's why you got to keep holding sprint. Anyways, so I thought it'd be cool to see if anyone could come over here and do the longest jump possible. Now, this technically isn't the longest I've ever gotten with this jump. As you can see, I just cleared it. And in a test world, I have, um, see, like right here. So there's actually a little bit more than what I gave you to make that jump. And the test world I marked has the farthest I've ever gotten with this jump. But I thought this was cool because it utilizes all your powers, and the furthest you can go with your jumps. And then you'll get a spider skin or something. You know, right now it's a spider skin. I don't really have any idea what it's gonna be. But I think giving you a skin for doing this, or giving you, like, really anything, but usually, you know, you give the player a skin. I don't want too many skins, kind of like in Crash Bandicoot Warped or Crash Bandicoot 4, because they gave you so many skins, you couldn't really enjoy them all. I didn't really know what to do with the skins, so... And I didn't really like a lot of the skins. So a lot of the skins, they felt like they're cool, but they didn't feel like they were well thought out. You know, it didn't really go with the theme of something. I think someone just said, "Oh, Crash in a chicken suit. That's cool." I did like the balloon Crash, but that's like a very odd choice to have. It doesn't really go with anything about Crash in general. So that's why I like it. And also the skins didn't go with the theme of the levels either. So if I give you a skin, it's either going to be like the skin with the Crash skin. It's an homage to Crash, but it's also, I made it so it's a little bit of my own, where it's infused into the character. Or which button is it? This one. It's infused into the character rather than make some sort of Crash, like give him orange fur and some pants. You know, it's a, you know, it's a reference, but it's my own take on it. Anywho, so yeah, I don't want to give the player too many skins. I mean, I could give you, instead of as well as skins, I could also give you accessories. That's not that hard to do. You can just sock it to the head, like I'll give you hats and stuff, and then you can mix and match the skin with the hats, kind of like in Fortnite. Yeah, I'll just give you a bunch of things that you can customize your character with, and make absolutely no sense. But yeah, that's all I want to show you. I am having a lot of difficulty creating enemies, which is... My enemies, I don't want them super smart like they follow you. I just want them kind of like an obstacle or like a flamethrower, except instead of a flamethrower, it's a guy with a gun, you know, turning and shooting at you. It's basically the same thing. Like the basic platforming obstacles you see, it's like, okay, there's a thing like this. It's a Goomba, basically. There's a thing, it comes at you. If it touches you, ouch. If you jump on it, you get hurt, you hurt it, you jump off, and it dies. But the only difference is, instead of it being like a spike ball or a rolling ball, you know, like rolls off of here, instead of that and just jumping over it, it's a spider, and it has legs, and you know, and there's an animation to it. So a lot of platforming characters, especially in Spyro, they're basically turrets, and they're basically, you know, some characters follow you, but for the most part, they're obstacles that have animations. Anywho, I am rambling, and now this is quite a long video. That's all I want to show you. I am prototyping all the other levels. Currently I am prototyping the Sun's first level. I prototyped the Mom's level a little bit. So right now I want to prototype all the levels. I want to get the first level done, the forest level done, and then I just want to get all the prototypes done, and then we'll go from there. If this level makes it into the final, fantastic. No promises. This is just an idea to have extra levels, but I don't have a job. I am running off my savings. So I might just maybe make it a DLC later or exit altogether. But I think these levels would be the easiest to make anyways. So y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.